Good. Hi guys, and welcome back to decentraHYPE. My name is Chester. I'm sat here with Hamilton of Crypto. Today we're going to be giving you a lowdown on what's happening with BTC on the BTC chart. The way that this is going to work, I'm going to be starting off with BTC on the shorter term time frame, and then Hamilton of Crypto is going to be going into the daily and a bit of the on-chain metrics as well. Once we're done with that, we're going to be smashing through to some altcoins, so make sure you're getting your altcoin requests in the chat. I know we've been dying to do this show for quite a while. So we are going to be doing this now from Monday morning, and also Wednesday as well as the Thursday night trade-off, which is also good fun as well. How are you doing today, Hamilton of Crypto, before we get into Bitcoin?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Had a bit of a wild weekend, smashed my head on some steps, but we are all good, got the stitches in, and we are ready to start the next week. Nothing stops us here at decentraHYPE. What are we doing first? Should we do some short term, and then, I will jump into more of the long term on-chain stuff, because there's some beautiful updates there as well. Short story, looking pretty good, guys. Looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to be jumping through to the short-term time frame for Bitcoin now, and that is going to be starting off on the hourly, guys. As you can see, we have, the last couple of hours, well, the last 4 hours have been just absolutely mental, okay? When I say mental, I mean serious percentages. serious percentages. We literally, Bitcoin's nearly up. Well, it pumped up around 3.7% from that candle body open at around 1 a.m., right? So it's been absolutely crazy here on the hourly. We did see us come up and tap the volume weighted ATR band with confidence here. In my opinion, a bit too much confidence. And we obviously are seeing that bearish candle coming through down as well, which has been horrific. I was kind of looking for a gravestone doji candle there, but we did actually get this horrific bearish candle coming through, and that is obviously going to potentially be slamming us down. Now, in terms of chart patterns that I was looking for here for this potential little scalpy trade, what I was looking for here is obviously this ascending triangle to the upside. You can see the levels of support that we've got on the lower side here. The last time that we bounced in terms of this higher low here. And from there, you can see the resistance on the top side in terms of this horizontal box that I've got drawn in like so. Pretty horrific drawing, but yes, it is drawn in. So I was ideally looking for a lovely candle body close above this area, and then just purely consolidation, and then some sort of double bottom on the shorter term time frame, and then I would have been looking for the entry for this measure move up. The measure move is around a 2.84% move on the shorter term time frame. Not completely out of the question at this time, but as I said, we didn't get the candle body close that we wanted. We got seriously rejected off the volume weighted ATR band, and we ideally want to get above that and get a candle body close above that as well. So yeah, it's not looking great here for Bitcoin right now, but I would say this is obviously the shorter term time frame. It's looking pretty goddamn amazing on the longer term time frame, which I'm sure Hamilton of Crypto will go into. But what I would expect here on the shorter term time frame now is just a pullback, is just a sell-off. We're seeing like a lot more people waking up around the world at this point in time, seeing this price action. So we are going to see some sort of sell-off coming through. So let's go into a bit more detail of what we're looking at here. You can see called up moving averages here on the shorter term time frame, which tends to usually mean there is going to be a breakout in the price. That's definitely something else to be looking out for there as well. We did see recently a bearish divergence coming through in terms of the chart as well, and that's obviously slammed us down, right? That's obviously slammed us down and killed a bit of the upwards momentum that we are currently seeing here for Bitcoin. So that's definitely something to be taken into account and learning. I was looking for yeah, I was looking at the start of the stream to see if we were going to get another bearish divergence. And I think we did actually. Yeah, you can see we've actually made a high here on the chart on the hourly, but we didn't actually break this high on the RSI. So there is actually another bearish divergence coming through there. So that does give some sort of inclination for a bit of a dump to the downside. After being pretty overextended like this as well, I probably would expect at least a pullback to the 21 SMA there. Sorry, the 21 EMA, and that's going to be around 24,500. I would expect, guys. I really would expect that before if we do see any more upwards momentum. In terms of the MACD, macadamia nut, what are we looking for here, guys? I'm going to be looking at some sort of trend cycle like so, but you can see we're pretty much at the top side of that, and we have pretty much invalidated that. So that's another reason why we could see a bit of a pullback. If we do see the MACD, the trend actually start to slow down, and we see the MACD reacting to that, and we do see us come below this line here, then I really would expect the trend to come to an end, and then we will see that that bearish crossover. So that's another point to be looking out for there. In terms of the DMI directional movement index, guys, you can see pretty pretty outstanding bullish crossover here. But the ADX at that point when that happened was just below our mark point, which is at 20. And from there, yes, we have banged it up, but we go on the crossovers and where the ADX is, because that basically shows the strength of the trend. And at this point in time, unfortunately, the ADX wasn't there. So that's pretty negative in terms of a reflection for the bullishness that we are seeing here for Bitcoin right now. That's going to be the short term. That's going to be what I'm really looking out for there. If we do lose the major moving averages here, rest assured, we've still got the 200 EMA, we've still got the 200 SMA here to be looking out for. And also this lovely level of support in terms of this upward sloping support line for this ascending triangle. In terms of the price for that, if we do just cascade down the steps here, we could be looking for around 24,200, 24,300, that sort of area there, if we do absolutely tank. Going to be moving on to the midterm time frame, which is going to be the 4-hour here for Bitcoin. And just to show you what I'm looking at here, we've been looking at this for quite a while here on my channel. And guys, I know that we're doing our separate, we've got separate channels as well. So if you want to go check them out, Crypto Chester, Hamilton of Crypto, we're going to be doing daily updates for BTC separately in videos and stuff like that. Just we're going to be doing the live streams on here for now though. But yeah, back to Bitcoin for a second here on the 4-hour. What I am looking out for here, I mean, it does look kind of messy, right? It does look kind of messy. Let's get rid of that for a second. Let's talk about the VPVR, because the VPVR coming through, you can see the point of control is pretty much sat on the most recent high low, right? Not quite the lowest point in terms of the market structure that we're looking at, but it is pretty much sat there for the support. So if we do start dumping like crazy in terms of a pullback, in terms of, to be honest, continuing this healthy trend here on the midterm, I would sort of be looking out for around 22,984. Because just remember, guys, we're not just going to go up. It's not going to happen. We're not just going to absolutely just bang it all the way up, right? I would expect higher lows to be set. And if we do bang all the way up, we're just going to get crashed down and it's going to be absolutely filthy, right? So yeah, that's sort of the point that I would be looking out for there in terms of the point of control for the VPVR. Other areas in terms of Fibonacci retracement, the 0.618 from the most recent downtrend, which we're currently a part of, which I will go into in a second, because we did actually cross the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, and we know what that means, guys. That means we're drawing more. It means we're drawing a new Fibonacci retracement coming through. So yeah, in terms of the point for that, if we are going to see rejection, we've got the volume weighted ATR band coming up as well, colliding with the Fibonacci retracement there. And yeah, so this area, I would say probably 26 to 25.5. This area is going to be pretty filthy, right? There's a lot of things telling us that we're pulling back from this area. So to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if we had a big old pump and then a filthy dump. Okay, so yeah, this is the area to really be keeping an eye on. And that's going to be 26 to 25.5. Okay, and yeah, that's going to be that for now. Let me jump to the RSI as well, because you can see we've got this this nice downward sloping resistance line on the RSI that we're actually looking at. If we do see us break this to the upside in terms of buying momentum, then this is going to be another thing that we're looking for that potential long on the shorter term time frame. Just checking I'm sharing my screen, right? Yeah, on the shorter term time frame, that's sort of what we're going to be looking for. If it is going to be happening here on the 4-hour, right? In terms of the DMI as well here, we are actually above the checkpoint of 20, near enough above that 25. Didn't get that bullet. We got the bullish crossover quite a while ago, right, on the 10th of August. So nothing really to update there. But yeah, in terms of chart patterns, in terms of potential trades here for the midterm time frame, I mean, you know me, guys. I like to really trade the breakouts here, and there's not really going to be a very good breakout here for quite a while in terms of these chart patterns. That's why I'm looking at the shorter term time frames there. In terms of new Fibonacci retracement areas that we're actually looking out for there, obviously we've got our new trend, because we did break the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement in the most recent downtrend, which usually means a reversal in the trend, which is usually confirmation that we're going to have continuation to the upside. So what I'm actually looking for now is going to be our swing high, which has just changed actually. Our swing high, which is this area from this trend, and our swing low, which is this area, as you can see here. So in terms of Fibonacci retracement from that, areas for higher lows to really be looking out for there is going to be the 0.236 Fibonacci retracement, depending on how high we're actually going to get here. This will be moving up, guys, just so you know. This will be moving up depending on how high we get before the reversal comes through. But yeah, there's definitely something to be looking out for there, around 23,147, lining up pretty nicely with the 200 EMA as well there. Yeah, that's going to be the update from me, I think. Nothing really too much more to cover here for the short term and the midterm. Going to be throwing it over to Hammy now, guys. And if you did like that update, if you did get value from that, make sure you smash a like on the video as well. And we are here Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. Yeah, throwing it over to you, Hammy, now for a nice daily update. I can't wait for that, bro.
All right, let's get it on. Just going to share my tab real quick here. And I think what you said there as well, super important to say, don't rush into any trades. We've just had a massive pump up here, as we've just essentially looked at. And yeah, when that happens and when it's that steep, then that's not indicative of healthy price action. What we want to see here is that gradual grind up, retesting along the way, and really getting that structure with our bullish momentum, right? So if we are going to bring this up to a daily now, what does that look like, and how far back do we need to go to really identify whether we're about to be absolutely banging it towards the upside, or we're just expecting a little bit more sideways? Because what we can see here is a bit more of a parabolic run up than we were seeing obviously in the past, just absolute carnage on the way down here, right? But yeah, it's nice to see us above all major moving averages right now, all of the like 55 and under, right? And it's also nice to see us at the top of this beautiful wedge structure that you can see on your chart right now. So if we are looking at this, we can say, hey, what is bullish about this? What is more indicative of us going up? We can say, hey, yes, we have made a higher high here on the more local time frames. But as we've said, this high is a little bit more of a stab towards the upside, so I wouldn't put too much weight on it. And I'll just go back to what Chester said as well by saying, let's not rush into the trades and let's actually wait to see what happens here. And the main point being that the trade isn't going to be exactly right now, but it's looking a little bit more likely that we might find some more consolidation and then continuation towards the upside potentially here, right? So what I'll be looking for here for my long trade towards the upside, if we are going to look at this, we were previously looking at the most recent wave inside this wedge structure, something along the lines of this, right? But now that wedge is absolute maximum coiled up here. We can see that there is still a few little points here we can get here towards the upside, and you could make a strong argument that we go a lot further than that, right? But what I want to see here generally to initiate this trade is two things here today. Obviously, I would like to back this up on some medium time frame, 6 hour, 12 hour, really closing candles above this this wedge top line, right? This top resistance. But also, I'd like to see a daily close above this as well. If a daily closes above this, my plan essentially will be this, right? Look for the daily close, look for the retest of this trend line in the next day, look for the break of the high, and then get in a long, take profit. Simple, easy to follow, and that's essentially my plan there coming through. If we are just looking at Bitcoin on more of a macro scale, it's had a bit more of a better reaction compared to a lot of the traditional market stuff here after bottoming. And again, when we look at the volume weighted ATR band here on the lower side, this little green line you can see coming through, when we do reclaim that, it's often indicative that we do head up for a nice little up wave anyway, right? I can find endless examples of this coming through. Obviously before, I mean, Bybit didn't have the data coming through here, but if we go to Bitstamp, it will be very, very similar all the way through, right? But yeah, March crash, we can see all these epic traps here before in 2019. I was around for this and it was absolute carnage. So if we can get some of these strong reactions towards the upside in this time of uncertainty with the world and with the economics of Bitcoin as well, then yeah, I think going towards the sky here and maybe testing 30k over the long run. Again, this is long term, so I would be expecting this over, I don't know, a month, maybe 2 months here if this does want to come through. But as of right now, looking a lot better, way better structure. And yeah, if we do want to come down, it's this trend line we're going to be watching as well. So if we just zoom in on this to kind of show it, right, we can see here that it is essentially this line along here. I think I have this drawn on maybe a weekly or something, right? No, is it a 4 hour? It's a 4 hour? Yeah, so yeah, it's a 4 hour here as the more recent trend line. But if we are going to adjust that for the daily here, we can see something a little bit more like this. So I don't want to scare anyone, but if we do have a massive dump, and we have tested this structure and trapped below it quite a lot, right? If we do want to have a massive dump here, which again, in today's world, today's financial markets is not out of the ordinary. This is very uncertain times for everything, okay? So what we can say, if this does happen, this is going to be the area I'm watching here for the downside. And yes, it does look bullish right now. Yes, it does look constructive, but we have to be looking at both scenarios here. We have to be looking to see if it is going to dump. And if it does dump, we're not going to be stuck in paralysis here as this happens, like a deer in headlights, right? We're going to be waiting and we're going to be looking to react to find shorts. So what shorts would I look for here on an epic dump towards the downside? I mean, we've talked about the long here. I will probably be looking for other longs as well on the macro if this does want to come through, and we'll talk about the on-chain in a minute. But yeah, looking at us really testing the structural line on the longer time frames, yes, if we did want to come down here, the short I would be looking for would essentially be this low here. This is the more prominent low that we've seen, that's less likely to be a trap. Obviously, let me just zoom in on this without this failing. All right, cool. Yeah, so this one was obviously a trap. We can see that very dirty candle structure there coming through, dirty wicks coming down, and then a complete recovery. But this one is actually more of an official low, and definitely one I put more weight on. So if we want to basically take the wick of this, if I'm just going to look at this, right, if we are going to take the wick of this and we're going to say, hey, 22.3, 22.4, if we lose that area, I will be looking for a short, and I believe it will be a very, very nice opportunity for a short as well. If we are looking at this coming down, we can actually see lots of pivots here as well for take profit. So 21.5, we're looking at 21.2 as well. And then obviously this line we were just talking about here at 19.7. So what would be a good constructive thing for Bitcoin, even if we do head down here, it's not like the end of the world if we head down, but if we come down and we actually bounce off this 20K area again, that would be very, very positive, and it will open the door as well for other major patterns to be kind of in conjunction, and other measure moves that we can start looking at. For example, here, right, if we head down and then we find some more constructive price action towards the upside, we're going to have a measure move ridiculously bullish, like ridiculous, up into the 30s. And this is how you really want to be looking for the next few moves ahead here for Bitcoin, and not obviously blindly trying to trade into that, but waiting for that, reacting to it, and making the money. Obviously, that's how it's done. What else was I going to say here? Oh yeah, so the on-chain stuff coming through is important. So we are going to look at the hash rate here. If we are going to explain briefly how this works, this is the power going into Bitcoin and the moving averages of that power, and there's a direct correlation with that. When essentially these are crossed towards the upside, we get massive uptrends, massive waves towards the upside, and we can see this just as clear as day on your chart. And then we're going to be using the bull market barrier for take profits on that uptrend as well. So what we're going to be looking for here is a signal for that to come through, and now that's been explained. Let me just explain where that is and what it looks like right now, whether it's bullish or not. So you've seen all these other ones we were just talking about, very strong red waves towards the downside in terms of people mining Bitcoin, whether it's profitable to mine Bitcoin, as we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, these being moving averages, what we're looking for, like many other strategies here, is for this to cross towards the upside. And if this does cross towards the upside, then that's going to initiate a long signal once it's confirmed, and that's going to be very, very likely, in my opinion, in the data's opinion, that it is going to be a nice uptrend, a nice bullish wave towards the sky. And if we are going to get that bull market barrier and really hone in on where that is, then we can say, hey, that is up at 55K. So that is the real long-term investment trade that I'm looking for here. Any of these pattern trades in the middle, absolutely fine. Again, we can make money to both sides here. I'm running my grid strategies as well, as a lot of you guys know that follow my channel. But yeah, that's the two major trades that I'm looking for here. If we are going to go to the on-chain here and just kind of elaborate on that a little bit, we can see another similar stance here. So this purple line and this red line is essentially the production costs and the efficiency of mining Bitcoin as well. And if price is below that, it's essentially unprofitable to mine Bitcoin. So if you are essentially a miner, or you are heavily invested in Bitcoin, then what you're going to be doing is trying to raise funds and trying to get the price up as well for the asset in general. So yes, this crawling back to this line, getting back to potential profitability does make sense to me. So this wave is essentially something that is expected right now. Does that mean we just bang it towards the moon? Absolutely not. We are not there yet. We have a lot of boxes to tick here, as we've just explained. But what I can say is it's looking a little bit more better on the macro. And if you like that, drop a like on the video. Anything you want to say here, Chester? We're going to go into some altcoins, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to go into some altcoins. I mean, I think you covered quite a lot of the on-chain metrics. Something I do want to go into in the future. I would like to look at the on-chain metrics for Ethereum. I think that'd be quite interesting as well, because they've actually started burning Ethereum as well, which is going to be quite cool to actually look at the stats for that. Maybe we'll do that on Wednesday. I think that does sound good. But yeah, I think it's time for some altcoins now, guys. So if you do have an altcoin, make sure you're smashing it in the chat, and we'll get to that as soon as possible. I think maybe should we just start with because obviously currently we don't have any altcoins in the chat, right? So maybe I think I want to start with Gala because I see Gala actually getting quite a lot of traction at the moment, and I think it's actually getting a lot more people bullish, right? We've seen some insane price action. So yeah, I'm going to go through that on the macro, and we can have a look at some potential scenarios coming through from there. So I'm going to share my screen and get straight into that. And yeah, as I said, guys, smash your altcoin request in the chat, and Hammy will, I'm sure Hammy will pick one of them after that, after I'm done with this, right? So yeah, as you can see, starting off with Gala here on the daily, you can see we obviously cascaded down really quite filthy, really bad. We actually broke the lows here on the Bybit chart, but we did see what we like to see here in terms of like a double bottom scenario, right? We saw a nice double bottom scenario, and when this happens, guys, usually we see a nice bit of upwards momentum, and this is what we are seeing for Gala. And I do just to be honest with you, I haven't done a lot of research on Gala in general. I haven't really had the time, but it's something that I have noticed that a lot of my community personally on Telegram, they've really been screaming about it. They really like Gala, and there's something there. I think it's getting a lot more attention than a lot of other altcoins at the moment. And to be honest, we are seeing that in terms of price action, right? So yeah, let me jump down to the 12-hour and see what percentages we're looking at since around so 26th of July, right? 26th of July, 26th of July. So really not even a month. We've seen Gala go up literally 56.93%. Absolutely insane gains coming through from there. So yeah, we have actually seen a 60%. We're currently sat at around 56.93. Okay, so it just shows for an asset to be doing that in literally less than a month, actually probably like 2.5, 3 weeks. That's absolutely insane. Okay, so that's definitely something to watch here. I would expect some sort of pullback. If we're looking at market structure right now, you can see we've obviously got these lower highs coming through from here, and we have got the lower high invalidation, right? Current low is this area here, but we've got the lower high invalidation. So that means we need to see a congruent higher low pullback. In terms of the area for that, because this is the 200 SMA coming down, we're going to see this come down for a considerable amount of time, right? Because we have seen a lot more bearishness than we have seen bullishness. So there's obviously taken on the average 200 candles there. So we will see this come down significantly and then probably level out as we do see this uptrend sort of continue. So what I'm sort of looking for now is how low this 200 is going to go for where we're going to have potential level of support, okay? Potential level of support in terms of a bounce for a higher low to basically validate what we're looking at here, right? Because we don't just want to go all the way up to the 200 EMA here, because if we do that, we're just going to get absolutely slammed with some filthy price action to the downside, something like so, right? So that's not what we're looking for here. We're looking for that nice market structure, that nice, solid, reliable uptrend, okay? And right now, I would say after seeing that 60%, we're a bit parabolic, okay? We're a bit parabolic, and we need to basically come down a bit. In terms of other moving averages, guys, we're still getting further apart, which does show confidence in the trend after seeing a bit of consolidation here, which isn't bad. And we know my Mount Everest analogy, guys. We have seen my Mount Everest analogy, for you guys that don't know, is literally you can't go parabolic, climb Mount Everest here without stopping at base camp 1. You need a base camp 1 in terms of consolidation to validate the parabolicness. Otherwise, you run out of air, you run out of food, you're going to crash. The body will give up, okay? So what we're seeing now is we've seen a base camp 1 get hit, and now we're seeing a nice big parabolic move to the upside. We either need a nice bit of consolidation here, a higher low, or we're just going to absolutely tank it back down, okay? That's an interesting analogy for you guys to take away from that. But yeah, let's jump down into the shorter term timeframes and see what we're looking at there. Just quickly, RSI really overextended here on the longer term timeframe, so that does initiate some sort of pullback as well. Moving on to the hourly to see if we can get some sort of potential scalp coming through for today. Just going to be banging in straight away, a trend line coming through, something along the lines of this, getting as many touches as we can, and then going to be doing probably something along the lines of this in terms of a wedge. Yeah, into parallel channel wedge, you decide. Getting as many touches as possible. So yeah, I probably would be going for the initial one that I just did there. So around some sort of wedging pattern like so. And then we know rising wedges, guys. Rising wedges, they tend to usually break to the downside. So this is something that we could be looking for in terms of that potential higher low structure on the macro that we were just looking for there in terms of a short position for Gala here. This is the measure move down. It's around 6.62%. If Bitcoin's going to have a significant pullback from where we are, if Bitcoin's going to have a significant pullback from where we are now, then it's likely that Gala will actually break this rising wedge to the upside, to the downside, and then we will see a potential short position. We'll be losing major moving averages as well in terms of support. We'll be rejecting off the volume weighted ATR band as well there. We're going to have a pullback on the macro time frame because we're overextended on the RSI. So there's a lot of signs here that 6.62% is on the cards. It's on the runway to take off. The paper plane taking off on the runway. So that's where we're going to make that money. You know why we're here. We're here to make money. Cold hard cash.
Cold hard cash.
Cold hard cash. So yeah, these are the areas to really be looking out for there in terms of higher low structure here, in terms of support. If we are going to be shorting this market, shorting this asset, 0.66 cents there, 0.65 cents there as well. In terms of a nice entry, to be honest, I probably would like to see a little retest to the upside, because if we do come down quite violently, lose level of support, I would expect to come up, test this level of resistance, and then see a lovely big bearish candle there, and then we'll just short the hell out of that market. That sounds pretty good to me. But yeah, that's what I would say about Gala right now, just looking at the structure of the market and looking at some nice reliable chart patterns. I'm not sure whether you've chosen a coin yet, Hamilton. What are you saying?
Hamilton. So yeah, we got a little poll in the chat right now. If you would like to take part in it, please pick a coin, because we are tied for Sol, Dot, and XRP right now. So who would like to be the kingmaker? Don't pick Ape, because then it's just going to be another tie. Okay, pick one of the finalists here. And someone picked Ape. Amazing. All right, here we go. You guys are jokers. All right, let's get my chart up, and we will decide what is going on here. Gonna throw that beautiful chart up. Here we go. So this is Bitcoin, obviously. And one thing I did want to say about Bitcoin, one of my personal strategies here is going to be the webinar strategy. So if we do actually start banging it towards the upside here, I do want to just check my mic's on. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, if we do start banging it up, and again, looks very choppy right now, a lot of things could happen, but yeah, I will be using our webinar strategy, which is essentially playing off this 7 SMA, so breaking serious highs, waiting for the retest, and then just riding that up every bounce. And again, what a moving average is, guys, is essentially it's a fluid support and resistance, right? It's going to go up and down with price, so you can expect reactions on it. Not all of the time, but if there's volume, a decent trend, and things happening, then yes, it's going to be something that you want to be looking at. But yeah, feel free to go watch either of our webinars for that when yours comes out as well. But yeah, let's have a look at this. Yep, Solana has won this race, so we will check it out here, throw that up on the screen, and just see what's going on here. Okay, so I've got a bit of a messy chart here. What I will do first is the 4 hour. Because I do think macro is important here in terms of this alt price action. Just check I'm not bleeding or anything. I think we're good. I think we're good. But yeah, so yeah, what I will say here with Solana is this is interesting, okay? This is showing a lot better price action even than Bitcoin in terms of respect for this support on the way up after reaching those lows. So what I'll be doing here is essentially just drawing this fresh on the chart. I'm going to be looking to kind of look for some pretty decent correlative activity here. This is a pretty decent line. We also have this one up as well. So what I'm going to do is have a little trap zone here and just see, does this reach? Does this even look good? It's not really good enough. So we will just leave it parallel for now. And yeah, we'll be looking for that essentially for a potential entry. And that does actually align here up towards the upside with this volume weighted ATR band, which we know is strong on the 4 hour, right? If we're above the volume weighted ATR band, this is exactly how I made over 600, 700% with Solana and a few other of these altcoins in the bull market, just looking to see when it's above this red line and just playing that, as we literally just talked about with the moving averages, right? Just playing it up, playing those structures with measure moves towards the upside as well. So that's what I'll be looking for here if we do want to head towards the upside. But as of right now, if I can just get this back, there we go. As of right now, we are still kind of comfortably in between that and in between the pattern. So what I'll be looking for here is, yes, if we did head up, then I'll be looking for two things. I'll be looking for the test of this, the test of the trend line, and then the third thing here would be essentially breaking this trap zone and looking pretty decent with it as well. So if that does happen, then yeah, the target here, let's say this happens today or something like this, around the 50, 51 area, if we want to break that. Again, I want to come up, retest, and then break that. And then there's a beautiful trade there. You can literally find some really nice percentages here. If I am just going to, and we haven't even drawn a measure move yet, right? And it's 8% here, just for basically a repetition of the wave here coming through. So yeah, if we are going to look at this in terms of measure moves, you can see here that it is a lot bigger, and this is not a move I would be sleeping on. So I'm glad you guys actually picked Solana here, because this is literally as high as 16% if this does break towards the upside. But do watch out for those traps. Keep watching Bitcoin, because that's going to be an important one. And yeah, let's also talk about the downside move as well, because that is going to be important. Again, it's quite likely that we trap as well in this market, so be careful. Always look at both sides, as we say. And yeah, again, I'm going to be looking at this local low here, which is around yeah, we'll say 39 on the dot here. 39 bucks on the dot. If we lose that, and we've got pivot points here as well, so fantastic. If we lose this area, it's going to be pretty similar to essentially this upside move as well. So what can we say here in terms of percentages? Let's say we do get in around 38.9, something like that, right? Then we'll be looking to ride this down for potentially 10%. And also with that, if this does take some time to happen as well, we've got the volume weighted ATR band to really kind of hone in on that support as well. So if we can potentially find an upwards wave from that as well, fantastic stuff. But yeah, that's the trades I'm looking for. Just to kind of summarize one more time here, guys, on Solana. Looking very, very bullish, looking very, very structured, looking good, okay? But now is not the time to get in trades just yet, I would say, right? What we're looking for here, again, break of 51 after a retest on the way up here, and then playing that up for beautiful percentages as high as potentially even 59. Obviously taking profit at any of these highs along the way as pivot points. Very, very simple stuff, but stuff that you don't want to be kind of skipping out on, because if you are managing your risk, if you aren't putting in stop losses and take profits, then yeah, you could easily like fill out your whole trade here without any take profits, and then it just dumps into the abyss, and you've lost all of your money. You've lost all of your profit, right? So what you want here is to really stagger those take profits up and down if we do find a short as well. Okay, so again, we're looking for 39 down, and we're looking for 51 up for the big move here on Solana. If I'm bringing it down to the hourly, just really, really quickly here, yeah, again, I wouldn't really trust this price action too much in terms of patterns, but I mean, if you're gonna put a gun to my head here, something along the lines of this, maybe some kind of symmetrical triangle. And if you are a really risky biscuit here, then maybe you could find a trade here. But honestly, it's, you know what, I might even retract the thought I just had, because this might even be a potential trade in that sense. So let's say we got in at 47. Again, those were the longer term trades, the 4 hour. That's still very, very valid. But if you are a bit more of a scalper, what I would say here is watch this high, 47.68, okay? And then I'd probably look to take profit around this 48. And that might look like a small trade, guys, but again, 1% a day keeps the landlord away. That's what we love to say here. And yeah, I mean, there are measure moves higher than that, as high as 5%. So yeah, I wouldn't want to be sleeping on this trade, but it's definitely going to be a bit more higher risk than the other ones I pointed out earlier for Solana. So yeah, hopefully you've got some value from this. Again, if you can like it, subscribe to it. We're a new channel. We are really, really trying to push this, get the content out for you guys. We have so much coming. So yeah, feel free to help us out any way you can. It's all for free here. It's all free. It's all free. And yeah, Chester, what are you saying? Do you want to do the next coin? I think Ape got a pretty decent one.
I was looking at what Simon was saying in the chat, actually, and XRP Army. So I've been prepping up a little XRP chart to jump onto that. I think that's what I'm going to do, if everyone wants to be good for that. I'm just going to share my tab. 1 second. Yeah, so XRP, guys, I've been actually keeping an eye on this recently. Well, the last, like, God, probably 2 years now, with the whole SEC case and stuff like that. Is that completely over yet, Hammy? Do you know if that case is over yet? You having a mare over there?
Yeah, just dropping things. I don't know. I kind of avoid XRP like the plague. I'm a decentralized guy, man.
I see what you mean, because obviously XRP is primarily used by a lot of international banks for transfers, right? And that's why I do think that it's going to do very, very well in the future, right? And it has been suppressed by the SEC continuously. And I know the last time I checked, they've been told to really, really speed up the case, because it's been dragging on for God knows how long. And it's actually probably affecting the price. It was definitely affecting the price of XRP. But I do think this is definitely one to watch for the future, guys. And I'm sure Simon is Simon's on my page as well, saying XRP Army in the comments there. But yeah, in terms of TA, guys, we are seeing a bit of a nice uptrend coming through here on the daily. You can see we do have a rising wedge structure, rising wedge chart pattern coming through. We know these tend to usually break down. I mean, to be honest, the way that we've been talking about BTC and also did some TA on Ethereum a minute ago as well, a lot of things do look like they need to come down and set a very strong higher low to actually validate that market structure. So this is going to happen for XRP. This is going to be a move that we can be looking to short, okay? In terms of a measure move for that, guys, this is something that we're going to be looking for, something along the lines of this. And this is going to be very nice as well. The reasoning for this is, one, it's 15%. Siri is speaking to me. One, it's 15%. Two, it's going to be breaking a lot of major moving averages as well in terms of support. And three, we're going to be breaking the most recent higher low there as well. So as you can see, if we are going to bang that in terms of a horizontal, this is just literally perfect. Okay, it's perfect to break down. We're going to have a nice big gap in this area here before potential take profits. Okay, so it's going to be quite nice, I'd say. I'm looking for XRP on the macro time frame here. And as I said a second ago, we do need some sort of higher low to validate what we are seeing here, right? It's not looking too shabby, I would say. We are still breaking highs here. We are still breaking highs, and we are still setting higher lows there. So yeah, moving down to the shorter term time frame here to see if we can get some sort of potential trade for us to be looking at today. Okay. I'm going to be looking at this high low, or this current low here from this trend. So yeah, I probably would be drawing some sort of trend line up like that, getting as many touches as possible. That's probably pretty congruent, and then probably something along the lines of this. Okay, and that's going to be another rising wedge chart pattern, guys. Rising wedges, we know what that means. They tend to usually break to the downside. Okay, so if we do lose all major moving averages here as well, it's going to be pretty good. Okay, it's going to be pretty good there as well in terms of the measure move to be looking at to the downside here. This is sort of what I would be looking for, right? This is sort of what I would be looking for to the downside. I mean, it's pretty goddamn huge, okay? So I really would be staggering take profits throughout this at all major levels here. When I say major levels, I'm talking pretty much higher lows and other moving averages and stuff on the shorter term time frames. We do have a volume weighted ATR band inside of that area as well on the 30-minute. We know this bad boy is respected, so that's going to be another take profit I would be looking at for there if we do short XRP, right? And the break I really want to see here is probably going to be probably the 200 EMA and 200 SMA there. If we break that to the lowest side, get a nice candle body close on the hourly, then my first take profit is probably going to be 0.3736 there. Now, if we do get a candle body close below that, you can see the last time we did get a few candle body closes below that, you can see we literally pretty much instantly slam it down to the second take profit. So if we do see cascading dumps straight away, we don't get a candle body close here, but we do get it here, we would be looking for that short, okay? And even if we do get that retest to the upside of these major trend lines, major moving averages, sorry, and also testing that trend line, then yeah, it's going to be another reason to short that. So yeah, XRP is not looking too bad for a short. I would say that here on the hourly. Obviously, a few more things to be looking out for there. Please don't go take any of these trades, guys. We're not financial advisors. We're literally here for educational purposes only. So yeah, let's. I see in the chat we've got John saying ADA. Do you want to touch on ADA, Hammy? Is that something you want to get involved with?
Yes, sir. We can do that, and then we will go back to Ape as well. Okay, cool. Yeah, I tend to prioritize, similar to you, Chester, prioritize the chat over the polls. But yeah, we'll do Ape after. That is all cool, and let's jump into some ADA here. ADA's always been quite a weird coin, guys. It's something. We've got Ape here as well. Let me just no spoilers.
It's been pretty boring recently as well, I'd say.
Where is it? ADA. All right, cool. So, yeah, I mean, the issue I find with ADA, and we can go back in time and actually prove this, is it's very choppy. It's probably one of the choppiest ones I've seen, particularly in the bull market as well. It was the entire rest of the market was just banging it, and ADA was just kind of chopping around because it got the wave a little bit earlier than the rest, right? And since that time, it's kind of kept that volatility coming through, as you can see, but it's not completely untradeable, and it's definitely something that's got better over time as well. So if we can look at this right now, what can we see? What can we do? We can say that, yeah, I mean, it is, again, at the top side of the range. A lot of these coins are going to be the same, guys, but I think what you guys really care about, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is the numbers we're looking for, the breaking areas, the areas where potentially we could be looking for trades. Personally, and again, I'll just echo what Chester said, we're not financial advisors. Do not just blindly copy what we say. There are a lot of variables, and we are traders, okay, but we're not financial advisors, so what we can say here is, yes, this is what I'm going to do, but there's a lot of variables, a lot of things going on on in our head while we're saying this. And again, it would take literally hours to explain each one, but that's why we have courses and stuff like that coming out in the future for you guys. But as of right now, we can see here with ADA that yeah, it's pretty much with the rest of the market right now. You could even argue that it's already finished its breakout here if we were going to take this as a trap, and we are going to kind of have this as a bit more of a smaller wedge as well. Let me just zoom in on that so you guys can see it a bit better, right? You could argue that this measure move is even already done. So yeah, let's just take a look at that. Yeah, it's pretty close to done anyway. There could potentially be a bit higher to go here, but I would only say this comes in if Bitcoin does start banging it as well. Again, look for the mothership to see what the dirty alts are doing, right? But if we are going to look at this, sorry if you are a big supporter of alts, but yeah, it's a correlative thing, right? So it's a data-driven thing. Alts tend to follow Bitcoin, so yeah, we will look at Bitcoin quite a lot. But yeah, if we are going to look at the bigger structure here, the ginormous wedge, and again, both are valid here, so we are going to look at both. We can say that yeah, it's going to be a bigger measure move here, and again, if Bitcoin does start banging this is what I'm going to be looking for as well. Excuse me for a second. There we go. Yeah, we can see a massive wave towards the upside, potentially as high as 0.72, so 72 cents here. That would also bring us into this next kind of pivot zone, this kind of air pocket between pivots. It's a beautiful area for this particular asset to get to, but yeah, we've got to be careful and looking for both sides as well. So again, if we were targeting shorts here, it's going to be a similar scenario. So again, just to look at this. What is this price here? Sorry, it's still pretty early in the morning, but this price here at 60 cents, if we break above that, yes, I would be looking for a long. I would be looking to take profit at all of these areas coming up, somewhat of like 66, 61, that kind of area, because these are massive percentages that you just don't get on traditional assets. You can see this, right? Ridiculous percentages coming through. Traders look for like 4% a year on Wall Street a lot of the time, right? So this, if you found this trade and it looks good, it looks healthy, and you've waited a long time for it, that's absolutely fine. Patience is king here. If we are going to look at this towards the downside though, and really just kind of look at the big scope here and say, yes, we have had a massive wave up. We haven't actually broken this structure yet. It's still looking pretty parabolic, but what we can say is in terms of this wedge structure, typically with patterns, generally, not just with crypto patterns, not just with Forex patterns, but all patterns across TA, across all assets, typically they will break towards 2/3 and the last third of the way through. So we are very much into that area, so we should be expecting a break pretty soon. But again, ADA does like to have a mind of its own. So what I'll be looking for here is the important levels, which is 50 cents coming through. If we break 50 cents, I'll be looking for a trade potentially down to 47. Again, that sounds small. Few percent move, Hamilton. What are you doing? 5%. Why are you crying? That's amazing. That's an amazing trade. Go for it. Again, not financial advice, but if you can find stuff and you can get this kind of knowledge, then yes, this is definitely something that I'll be going for sure. And again, just similar to what we said with the previous assets that we have been looking at, this volume weighted ATR band coming up on the 4 hour and kind of meeting that measure move is just another kind of potential signal of stars aligning here for a move pretty soon. So we'll see how that goes. But again, the upside is going to be fantastic if it does come through. I personally prefer trading towards the upside. It's just easier for me generally. But I mean, some people prefer the downside as well. And yeah, a lot of people made a lot of money as this came down. So congrats to those people. But yeah, that's pretty much it for ADA. I can show you the 1 hour if you are so inclined. We can see here, yeah, we did get that massive wave up here. Not fantastic in terms of structural integrity here for a chart, but on the 1 hour anyway, right? But you can't expect that on the lower time frame. So what I will say here is, yes, basically, I'm not looking for a trade in this area. It's just not a good enough structure in terms of any pattern here. I know a lot of you guys are going to be screaming like head and shoulders here, oh my god. But I mean, I'm not a head and shoulders trader. I find they don't typically work as well in crypto. But yeah, I've been proven wrong a few times by a few of my hedge fund buddies anyway. But yeah, I'll be looking for around the 60 to break up for the bigger move, particularly with this one, rather than trying to hunt these smaller ones, because yeah, this is a little bit less predictable than most, right? So yeah, anything on your side, Chester? Are we going into APE? What's the deal here?
I was looking at Ethereum actually, because I'm actually looking for a buying opportunity for Ethereum. So
okay, go for it.
I can go through that. Yeah, I didn't really get the gist of the voting thing. I didn't see that. So yeah, that's probably why I haven't been following it. But for next time, it does sound good for like a voting system for these altcoins for you guys to be basically voting what we're going to be what we're basically going to be doing, right? So yeah, let me jump to Ethereum. For now, I'm going to be starting off on the macro and just going to a bit of explanation on what's sort of happened here, because as you can see here on the daily chart, guys, we have seen this parallel channel coming through, this area of support on the lower side really playing out. Okay, so this is definitely something to be looking out for there if we're going to see a filthy crypto crash and the continuation of this horrific current bear market. Okay, but from there we did actually see a very nice breakout in the price, guys. In terms of measure move for that, you can see really nice continuation there, smashed it right up, actually got above this trend line on the seriously on the macro here. It's all the way back from September 2021 here. You can see this trend line coming down. We actually claimed above that very nicely. In terms of what we're seeing now for Ethereum, I'm a bit skeptical, guys. I'm a bit skeptical because we have seen a serious amount of growth from the low to the current high. It's up around 122% from now. Okay, and that's not really that long ago. It's literally not even like maybe 2 months ago. Yeah, near enough, exactly 2 months ago there. So you can see in 2 months pumping 130% or whatever it was there. It's horrific. Okay, we haven't really had a significant pullback, and this brings me on to the rising wedge chart pattern, which we're currently seeing here. Do I think Ethereum has a little bit more left in the tank? Yes, I probably do. Okay, at the rate this is rising, at the rate that we are holding this horizontal level of support, it's not looking too bad. If we actually got a candle body close below this area, I would expect a nice test of the 10 simple here on the macro. That would have been around 1,847, that sort of area. But no, we've got a candle body close above that. So what I probably would expect is continuation of this trend coming up like so, tapping on the 200 EMA, and that's when we're going to see that resistance, I think. Okay, that's when we're going to see the resistance, maybe even a wick up to the 200 SMA there, just to stop out a lot of these longs here. Okay, just stop out a lot of these shorts here, because we are seeing quite a lot of motion to the upside. So in terms of resistance areas, guys, this is going to be the area to really be looking out for there. 2,100, 2,200 for Ethereum. These are the real areas, right? Once we see the rejection coming through from that, I'm going to be looking for the break of this level of support, break of this upwards sloping support line for this rising wedge. Rising wedges, they tend to usually break down. Okay, they tend to usually break down. The measure move for that isn't going to be that great, because we have pretty much caught up towards the end of this chart pattern here, but it's going to be something that could look quite clean. Okay, and as you can see here from the 200 EMA, when this lines up to this here, if we break here, it's going to be perfect, because you can see we've got this horizontal here as well. This area, it's worth around 7.22%. Pretty goddamn good. And as you can see, going back in history, this area is a very choppy area for price. Okay, very choppy area for price, which means this 7% is probably going to be quite easy to get. Okay, it's going to probably be quite easy to get. So in terms of ease of money, free paper planes, it's good. Okay, it's pretty good. Okay. Obviously, we're going to be looking at a lot more things coming through from there, but that's just a little synopsis on the macro here for Ethereum on what I'm sort of looking for. If we do lose this horizontal and we do dump down further, the other key areas to really be looking out for there, just to bang in some horizontals to see if I can help you guys there, just to bang in a couple more horizontals there. It's going to be something along the lines of this, right? 1,786, 1,602. Another one we could be banging in is something along the lines of here, 1,444. And to be honest with you, with the way that Ethereum is reacting here, I probably would be using these horizontals as sort of DCAs, that sort of momentum, right? In terms of, do I think we've actually set the low for Ethereum? 878, pretty goddamn low. Okay, that's pretty goddamn low. If we do break this low again, then to be honest with you, I will just be buying up the volume weighted ATR man like a mother trucker on the daily time frame. Okay, and that's gonna be around $610. Imagine getting Ethereum at $610. That would be absolutely insane, right? That would be absolutely insane. So if we do see the price get down to that, I am buying it. I'm buying the hell out of Ethereum, stacking them up like biscuits in the jar. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'd say about Ethereum, guys. Anything else for you to add, Hammy? Should we round off the stream? Because we're nearly an hour, guys. Should we round off the stream with a little BTC update on what to look out for today? And then if you guys do want to go check out a more in-depth update on BTC from both of us, we will be releasing videos today on both of our channels. And for me, that is Crypto Chester, and for Hamilton, that is Hamilton of Crypto. So yeah, I'll throw it back to you, Hammy, and we'll go from there.
Alrighty. Yeah, what I will do, because Ape did win, I will just do a quick little analysis here, just to keep the mob at bay. Just out of respect for you guys as well, because I know you participated in the vote, so yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it's basically the same as everything else. What I will say, though, is it's looking a little bit more bearish than everything else. It's looking like it's already broken its structure a bit, right? So we'll see how this goes. Personally, I'm not a fan of Ape. I think it is a complete money grab. Am I muted? No, cool. I think it's a complete money grab, and I'm not a big fan of the coin, but if they do start building movies and franchises and stuff off the back of the brand like they're planning to do, and it's successful and everything, then yeah, I mean, I imagine the coin goes up with it. I can imagine the utility will stick, and I imagine that's a bullish thing, right? But in terms of right now, in terms of the 4 hour, we are looking at this general channel structure that we can see coming through with a few traps towards the upside. And again, just for numbers here before we do just jump into Bitcoin and go. Yeah, I will be looking basically at this break here. It would be about 6.18 here if we can break down. And if it does look like a bit too volatile, or it doesn't look too great, again, this is a coin known for trapping here, so yeah, if it does look a bit trappy down here, then what I'll wait for is a retest of the trend line and then a break of the low from the initial dump, and then look for that trade down here, in which yeah, I mean, 10% is even half of this measure beef to the first take profit, so this could be a very, very lucrative one if it does play out that way. So keep an eye out for that one, and then the volume weighted ATR band here being the absolute bottom support for me anyway, before at least a minor bounce or some consolidation, would be around 16% towards the downside at 5.17. So yeah, fantastic stuff if that does come through. And then towards the upside, pretty much the same as what we were saying with other coins here. We can say, hey, yeah, if we do break up, this is quite far away at this point, to be honest, guys. There might be a trade from 7.65 up to the volume weighted ATR band inside the pattern, but again, I want to see Bitcoin. I want to see a lot of these other ones, as we'll talk about in a minute. I want to see Bitcoin banging it up first, and with this, so it looks a little bit better, right? Otherwise, it could easily be a trap, and we just get obliterated when Bitcoin dumps, right? This is a common theme with a lot of altcoins. So yes, the bigger trade here would be towards the upside, about 920, I would say, just getting over these kind of last areas and into the next pivot zone, and then yeah, I mean, that would be a fantastic trade towards the upside as well if that does come through, and that's I mean, 31% here up to $12. Very nice stuff. And I remember when Ape came out, actually, I knew it would be very volatile, so I actually got in on this, set up a grid, and made, I think it was something stupid. I made something like 30% in a day or something on what I put in. It was ridiculous. I was very, very shocked with that. I wish I put more in, as a lot of traders will say when they get a good trade. But yeah, I mean, hey, there are trades to both sides here on the 4 hour. I am going to go down to the 1 hour really, really quickly, and then we'll jump into Bitcoin to really hone in on that. So yeah, it would be around this high here. So again, that would actually be above the volume weighted ATR band here on the hourly. So if we get above there, yeah, we could get a nice little uptrend up to that next 4 hour volume weighted ATR band as well. So if we are just going to hone in on that, really look for this. I would say again 7.777. All right, 7.77 up to yeah, 827, which is a fantastic trade if that does come through. But again, I'm looking for Bitcoin more than anything to really confirm this, right? Right, speaking of Bitcoin, let's jump straight in for a little update here. I'll tell you what if I do I'll do the 4 hour, and then did you want to do the hourly? Is that cool?
Yeah, sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
Alrighty, let's jump in. Okay, so yeah, basically nothing's changed here. We've got our wedge structures coming through. We've seen lots of traps towards the downside here. Does that mean that we're more likely to head down? Actually, no, it's actually slightly more bullish because they're trapping people into shorts here and then bringing it up. So again, still very much at the end of this pattern, still waiting to see what's going to go on here. But yeah, with Bitcoin, generally 4 hour and above, I want to see us above this kind of 25.3 area initially. Anyway, this is an old trade, so let's get rid of that. But yeah, I mean, there is potential here for some move towards the upside as well. So again, 25.3 up to 25.8 is really what I'm looking for. But this can go a lot of different ways, and just this general structure for me on a 4 hour is disgusting. And I would prefer to just wait here for the daily break rather than actually get involved with scalps too much. Because I mean, if you do actually look at this, it's really disgusting. It's dirt. Get away from me. I want it to stop, okay? But that's going to be it from me for the 4 hour. Just a quick daily to show you what I'm looking at here. Cool. Actually, no, let's bring it to the actual weekly chart. on my personal weekly chart. Here we go. Yeah, so this is the dual end, or what I'm looking for here, right? So it does look like we are breaking out towards the upside, but again, 25.3 towards the up is going to be a lot better for continuation of the trend. Besides that, I am pretty much with Chester here in saying that it's quite likely we do come down, but don't hold your breath. This can go any way. Yeah, I'll leave it to you, Chester, for the lower time frames.
Yeah, so just gonna jump to Bitcoin here on the shorter term time frame here. Starting off on the hourly, guys, as we did cover this at the start of the stream. If you do want to go back, if you are just joining us, we did do a pretty in-depth update then, but just covering it to end the stream here, we are looking for this hourly candle body close in this area, okay? After seeing us come up and break this high in terms of the market structure, test the volume weighted ATR band, we saw Bitcoin get to 25K pretty much for the first time in a significant amount of time, right? So it's actually very good news here overall for general coverage of Bitcoin. This will help. A lot of news stories coming out, a lot of financial magazines and stuff like that will be publishing Bitcoin's back at $25,000. It's going to be good news, okay, in general. But what we are seeing here is going to be, just to reiterate what I was saying at the start of the stream, is going to be an ascending triangle. They tend to usually break up. Measure move is around 2.84%. At this point in time, we have seen pretty filthy bearish momentum to the downside, but in terms of that candle body open below this major box level that we were talking about, which is going to be the horizontal level of resistance from the ascending triangle, we'd actually get a candle body close below that. Usually when that did happen before, we saw pretty horrific price action. Now this is where it gets interesting. We're seeing a buyback. We're seeing bullish momentum. We're potentially going to see a nice hammer candle coming through from here, a bullish hammer candle. And if that happens and we do get a potential candle body close above these areas here, then I would actually look at another test to the upside here, and that will be another test of 25,000. Okay, so please be aware for that today, guys. This is going to be on the next literally and hourly candle body close, and the potential candlestick pattern that we do get from that. If that isn't going to happen, and it is going to be a bearish candle, and it isn't going to be a bullish hammer, then I probably would expect at least a test of the 21 SMA, right? The 21 EMA, which is this nice yellow line coming through from here. In terms of price for when we actually hit that, it's probably going to be around 24.5. So I probably would expect probably a bit of a range, okay, after seeing a nice big pump today. But yeah, in terms of as Hammy was saying, I mean, look at this. The momentum is actually coming through here on stream. It's getting there, okay? It's getting there. 4 minutes left. It's actually looking fairly bullish right now to see this over the space of an hour, right? If we jump down to the 15-minute, just quickly, you can see we have seen that with momentum, seen that rejection from volume weighted ATR band as well, seen that rejection from the resistance coming through from that box area again. But you can see the bounce here on this 21 EMA as well there. So yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. I probably would be looking out for to clear this 10 simple right now. In terms of the 10 simple, that will be back in the area that we were just talking about on the hourly, and that is going to be up at around 24,800. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this does go for Bitcoin. Okay, there is we could easily go in either direction right now. But yeah, that's what I would say about the hourly, guys. Key areas to be looking out for there is going to be this this box zone, and also losing these horizontals in terms of losing the micro market structure, and that would be 24,356 and also 24,150. Yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Would you like to round that off, Hammy, or would you say that we're done with Bitcoin overall?
I'd say we've pretty much covered it all. Again, just looking for the break up or breakdown right now. Will the momentum continue? That's the question. I would like to see a test of the daily moving average at 23.9 potentially here. It's also an area where there's a nice pivot as well. I'll actually just show you really quick before we go. But yeah, it's been great here. It's been great. And again, yeah, if this momentum does kind of wear towards the downside, and this does turn out to be another wick like these kind of high wicks before obliteration, then yeah, I mean, coming down, testing at least the 10 SMA here is going to be fantastic, and that's yeah, that's also in line with this pivot as we just talked about. So fantastic stuff. That is pretty much going to be it, and yeah, thank you for watching. Be sure to send this to your friends, all of that good stuff. Again, you don't have to. This is just free content for you guys, and hopefully we provide you guys some value as well. We do this literally for you, right? We make money trading anyway. So what we want to do here is actually build a kind of network with you guys and help you guys kind of ladder up in your trading ability, so we can all kind of sit at the top and help each other in business. That's the kind of do-all, end-all goal for us anyway. But we've got lots of stuff coming. We've got vlog challenges. challenges. We've got just general lifestyle stuff. We've got podcasts on the way. It's going to be fantastic. So stick around, follow our story, and join our Discord as well, which will be in the description. Any last words, Chester? Any last words?
I'd like to say again, thank you from my behalf. And we will be back for another live stream for Bitcoin and a couple of altcoins as well on Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, yeah, Wednesday morning. I think that's the schedule.
For us, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, and then also the Thursday night trade-off as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And guys, we are nearly at 100 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you smash that button and help us get to 100 and build this channel together. And also, we do have popping Telegram communities as well. So if you do want to join them, I'm sure the links are in the description somewhere. I'm sure you can find them. So yeah, make sure you jump in there and say hello to us there as well, because we will reply to you. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. But yeah, peace out.
Cheers, guys. Have a good day, and we'll see you in the next update. Peace out.